Hades is a godlike roguelite from Supergiant Games, the developers of Bastion. No, not that Bastion, the other one. This chthonic chronicle follows Zagreus, son of Hades, on his escape from the Underworld. Aided by the Olympian gods, Zagreus won't make the journey alone, instead relying on boons his benevolent benefactors grant upon him. In time, he will master the art of combat through many arms, harnessing his true potential through the power of darkness. As Zagreus, you must travel up through the 4 stages of Heck in order to break free from the domain of the dead, driven by what lies on the surface. You will stop at nothing to break free, even if it means dying over and over again. I'm Chepek, and you need to play Hades. As a roguelite, Hades has everything you could ask for and more. On your pursuit for the surface, you'll first find yourself in Tartarus, home of the wretched dead. You need to be prepared for any possibility, as the chambers of the Underworld shift in between deaths. That said, if you somehow manage to make your way to the end of the floor without dying, you're invited to fight for your life in a sudden boss battle. How sweet. This is a fairly standard roguelite mechanic, but what I find interesting about Hades is that the bosses really don't change that much at all. While in traditional roguelites you might receive any kind of boss at the end of a floor, Hades mostly has you fight the same foes, albeit with some minor variation here and there. This is because each of the characters you face off against are just that, a character. The bosses are fully developed and have their own personalities, maybe not Bone Hydra. You'll even exchange banner with them before a fight, something that both provides you with new insight and gives you more reasons to go all out on Theseus. Just keep an eye on your health, because you don't really want to lose to that guy. You see, in order to reach these fine folk at the end of the chamber, you've got to battle through the hordes of wretches Hades throws at you. One of the many things this game excels in is its enemy variety. Almost every enemy you encounter is completely different from one another. Melee enemies don't just follow a generic attack template with varying stats. They'll fight you in many different ways. Wretched louts will charge at you with speed, while thugs will approach slowly and hit with a charged attack. Ringers will hold you still and crush you to death, and skull crushers fall on you from the top of the chamber. And that's just some of the melee enemies. There are also ranged and defensive foes, who, like all of the examples mentioned, have their own unique moveset. These extremely different enemy types allow for a steep learning curve, making your first escape an insane challenge, but allowing subsequent runs to be completed with ease. Okay, ease isn't the right word for that, but you'll certainly be dying a lot less. Speaking of, when you inevitably fall in battle, you're dragged down into the river Styx, only to emerge from a pool in the House of Hades. This area acts as your hub world. It allows you to interact with a variety of characters, trade items, and invest materials that you got out in the field into different projects. As an example, you can use the darkness at the Mirror of the Night to strengthen your moves through additional bloodstones and death defiances, as well as a multitude of other buffs. You can use gemstones and diamonds at the house contractor to install new furniture in the house and create new mechanics in the underworld. You can also help characters by altering their contracts and providing them with a lighter sentence. You see, there's a lot of interaction with characters in Hades, like a lot. Pretty much everyone has their own dialogue and voice acting. It's honestly really impressive. You have some obvious characters like the big man himself, but you also have some oddballs like the maid Dusa, as well as other significant figures from Greek mythology such as Achilles. You can come to expect a myriad of chthonic characters and Olympians with just a little sprinkle of shades and other allies. What I love about this game though is how you can befriend pretty much all of them. You can gift characters flasks of nectar and ambrosia in order to gain a little heart next to their name. Kind of like the Stardew Valley system, but a lot simpler. Your first gift to a character will provide you with a different keepsake depending on who you gave it to, allowing you to enhance your gameplay with a unique effect. Some gifts are cute and thoughtful, but I'm pretty sure Skelly just pulled out one of his teeth. Anyhow, you can equip these keepsakes out in the field to gain special buffs and bonuses, though you can only have one at a time. However, if you continue to pursue a friendship, some characters will even offer you their companionship during battle, with a select few even being romanceable. Personally, that's not something I'm looking for in a game, but you know, you do you. I really like that completing a friendship with someone offers you a little icon of the character next to their keepsake though. It's just a little thing, but it's kind of cute. Moving forward, as you start another run and begin to make your way through the shifting chambers of Tartarus, you can expect blessings from the Greek gods themselves. The 9 Olympians all provide different types of boons and will strengthen Zagreus in different ways. As an example, Poseidon, god of the sea, will offer you a selection of power-ups that will grant you knockback in the form of flowing waves, while Dionysus, god of wine, will allow you to inflict a hangover upon your enemies. It's a bit out there, but sure, why not? You can expect quite the variety between the gods, as mixing and matching their boons will provide you with enough strength to battle through the Underworld's chambers. This boon system is great. As opposed to the usual pickup sequence you might get in roguelites, each boon furthers your relationship with the respective god, usually saying some kind of quip before you get their blessing. What's interesting is how intricate the dialogue system is. I mean, when you die to an enemy and you're back at the House of Hades, you're usually met with some snarky and oddly specific comment by Hypnos, god of sleep, but that isn't nearly the extent of it. There's way more intricate applications of this too. As an example, say you pick up a boon from the god of love, Aphrodite, Aphrodite, and then another from Ares, the god of war. The next time you encounter a boon from Aphrodite, you might be met with a dialogue talking about how the two work well together, before being met with a synergy boon. This adds a lot to the characters because they actually comment on things you've done. They're not just some basic video game NPC who says the same line over and over again. They truly do feel fleshed out in a way. This mechanic isn't just for combining powers though. Even the most basic things, like having a certain keepsake or weapon equipped, will get noticed by the gods, and they almost always have something to say about it. Because beyond other combat enhancers such as boons and keepsakes, Zagreus is offered a selection of weapons with which to make his escape. Starting off with only the Stygian blade, you can collect chthonic keys in order to unlock additional infernal arms, such as the eternal spear and the heart-seeking bow. Each weapon has a completely unique loadout, consisting of standard attacks and specials. Say you manage to unlock all 6 weapons, then you're able to use Titan Blood to upgrade them and unlock hidden aspects and abilities, allowing for slight variations in how they operate. This is a nice feature, as it allows you to slightly optimize your loadout to your preference for each weapon. Just make sure you get enough Titan Blood. Every time you defeat a main boss for the first time with a new weapon, you're given a special reward. In most cases, this reward is Titan Blood, the literal lifeblood of the weapon upgrade system. You can earn 2, I would say containers of Titan Blood, but they're kind of just floating there, so I guess I'll just say you can earn 2 Titan Bloods per weapon. That sounds weird, but let's just go with it. Now, I know what you're thinking. If there's 2 Titan Bloods per weapon, and there are 6 weapons, then that means you can only get 10 Titan Bloods. Where will you get the rest from? Well, first off, you're wrong, that would be 12 Titan Bloods. Please try to pay a bit more attention. Secondly, you can earn additional chamber rewards by increasing your heat level. Once you gather all the specific materials for a certain weapon, you're granted access to the heat meter. With this, you can throw a bit more spice into your run, making it more difficult but granting greater rewards. This is really cool because it adds so much replayability. Say you just want 1 heat. Let's put a 9-minute cap on each stage and call it a day. Maybe you want to try and beat the game with 5 heat, then just buff the armored enemies with 2 new attributes. Or, say you're a sadist and want to play with 10 heat. Why not pump the extreme measures to the max and face off against insanely buffed boss battles? The cool part is that you can mix and match perfectly for your preferences, allowing your runs to have as much kick to them as you'd like, or at least as much as the new weapon aspect calls for. This is a great system, and it's only improved by other incentives such as bonus loot for using a weapon you aren't as familiar with. The Hades gameplay loop mostly boils down to the weapons, boons, and keepsakes you use, though there are a few other factors that may impact your run. Each encounter in Hades will reward you with a new item. Here you have your boons, darkness, gemstones, and the like, but there are also a few other items that strengthen your armory. Specifically, I'm talking about Palms of Power, Centaur Hearts, Daedalus Hammers, and pretty much anything in between. Palms of Power are probably up there in my favorite items. They level up your choice out of 3 boons, basically increasing all of its stats. Now, as you go higher and higher in levels, you start to get some diminishing returns, but it's still a really awesome item that can push your moveset to the next level. Centaur Hearts, on the other hand, are your basic video game HP up. Not really interesting in any way, but they get the job done and serve the purpose well. Finally, I want to talk about probably my favorite item, the Daedalus Hammer. As opposed to granting you a choice of boons that strengthen Zagreus, the Daedalus Hammer instead strengthens your weapon. In some cases, it can completely transform the weapon, and in others, it's just a really good stat buff. It allows you to do much more in combat, and I really like it. Also, while these items can be earned from clearing an encounter, they can also be bought using Obol. Obol is the gold coins that you earn from defeating enemies. If you manage to earn enough Obol, you can even visit Karen, the undead boatman's shop, to buy some wares. Like most characters, you can talk to Karen and build up friendship, so make sure you stop by for a chat whenever you enter the store. He's always got something interesting to say. I really like this game. It gets a lot of things right, and it's just a really engaging roguelite. Zagreus is charismatic. I mean, I'm actually able to listen to his one-liners without trying to punch a hole into my monitor. As well as that, the visual style is fantastic. The blend of 3D characters and hand-drawn environments works a lot better than I thought it would, and all of the character portraits are beautifully done. The lighting always fits the scene, and the game just has a really strong visual presence. You can tell how much work went into this game. There's little details that really didn't have to be in there, like the fishing minigame, but they are, and it really shows just how much the devs care for Hades. There's a codex that fills with more information every time you learn about a character, enemy, or item. And the music is just perfect. I don't know how Orpheus is playing beats like this on just one lyre, but whatever he's doing it right. This stuff is truly fitting for a battle of the gods. But gods aren't all you'll be talking to. There's characters you can meet in between the chambers, all of which will offer you support in some way, such as Patroclus' Kiss of Styx, Eurydice's generous gifts, and Boldy's, emotional support. All in all, Hades is just a really well-polished roguelite with a surprising amount of depth to it. There's funny dialogue, like your standard joking interactions between Zagreus and those that lie in his path, but there's also a strong amount of emotional nuance when speaking with others about his feelings. All of the characters feel 3D, not only because they're fully developed with their own personality and motives, but because the character models are literally 3D. Okay, that was such a dumb joke. In conclusion, Hades is a roguelite that's just as strong in gameplay as it is in story. Like an ogre, Hades has layers to it. On the outside, it's just another fun-loving roguelite, and in a way it still is that, but it goes into much more depth the more you play it. Hades is a roguelite I keep coming back to. I don't know if it's because I want to find out more about the different characters, defeat some foes, or if I just want to pet Cerberus, but either way, I cannot recommend this game enough. So with that said and done, I give Hades a 1 out of 10. It doesn't let you romance Skelly. But you know what? You can probably romance that subscribe button, so go ahead, try it. I dare you. I post game review videos like this once in a blue moon, so you aren't gonna want to miss it. Also, while you're down there, why don't you hit the like button and leave a comment? I read all of them, so please don't say anything mean. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time where I make some shoes for Zagreus. Seriously, did anyone else notice that? Like, he's literally running around the Underworld barefoot. Alright, I should probably go now. Bye.